Hey guys, Keith Boykin.
Jason Goolesby.
Y'all seem to enjoy our SEC preview, so we figured we'd just pick some games for you this week.
Nothing more entertaining than two idiots.
That's right. That's right.
And we know we're idiots.
Yes. So first of all, let me congratulate UT for beating Ball State, the local community college in Gallatin. Right? Is that who they played?
Ball State.
Oh, Ball State. I'm sorry, I got that confused. Okay, good for you, Tennessee. Y'all beat Blaine Bishop's alma mater. Good for y'all.
In all fairness, everybody usually opens up with a cupcake.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump into it. Alabama is playing Utah State.
Okay, so Utah State did finish last year, top
They did.
25, so they're. But anyways,
Alabama's got that game.
I pick Alabama. Yeah.
Texas A&M's not playing anybody. I think Sam Houston over
Lebanon Connection. They're playing Sam Houston.
Yeah, so I'm going to just go ahead and
They're
go
playing
with
the middle school team. Elementary.
We're just going to go ahead and go
Houston.
with Texas A&M on that one, right?
Yeah. This one's interesting.
Georgia, Oregon.
Georgia and Oregon.
With a former Auburn quarterback slinging the ball up in Oregon.
Bo Nix.
And their former defensive coordinator over at... all right, so Georgia defensive coordinator is at Oregon calling the plays now.
Yeah.
Do you think that hinders Georgia from beating Oregon?
I think, a lot of Nick Saban's former, Kirby Smart being at Georgia, I think that gave him an upper hand playing Alabama because he knows what Saban's thinking in those conversations in the coaching room that we never hear.
But they tend to have a revolving door at Alabama with offensive coordinators.
Right. Well, we got the same one too.
So, it doesn't matter that you were there.
So,
so I'm going with Georgia.
Georgia is a favorite, and you got to go with Georgia. Even if this was close, I have zero respect for West Coast football. None. Zero. So I would probably pick.
It's because he doesn't stay up late enough to watch it. Go Fresno State. All right, because that was always the 11 o'clock game on ESPN when we were growing up.
That's the game that people bet on that have lost all day Saturday, and they stay up and bet on the West Coast games trying to get even. Former gambler, I know. Yeah,
so
been there, done that.
The next game is Cincinnati, Arkansas.
Arkansas.
That I think is actually going to be a good game.
I think that is an interesting game.
I'm still going with Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm going with Arkansas. I just don't. I think Arkansas ranked at number 19 is light.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be a lot better than that.
I would agree with that.
And so, yeah.
Ole Miss with their frat punter is playing Troy.
Troy State, my home state of Alabama. It used to be Troy State. They just go by Troy now. Yeah, I think you got to go with Ole Miss.
Even though the punter's probably going to be over there doing keg stands while he's waiting.
Now, leave it to Lane Kiffin to find a punter at a fraternity party. Interesting guy. Love him or hate him. Him and Mike Leach make things interesting.
Look, he is he's Steve Spurrier-esque.
Right, yeah, he's fun. He's fun.
And then my game, Florida, Utah. I'm going to go ahead and let him pick.
Yeah. So, I love SEC football. But here it comes. I do think Utah would probably will beat them. I think there's so many unknowns about Florida. This new coach, it'll be a great test. So I don't feel strongly about that.
Here's what I'll say is that the cupboard wasn't left bare at Florida.
Yeah.
So we do have a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's Cam-esque.
Cam-esque. I don't know about that.
Well,
is it Anthony Richardson?
Anthony Richardson. He went by his AR-15 last year. He feels like that's a terrible nickname now. I don't know why.
Change if your nickname's AR. Yeah, something to do with that. Change it.
So, but I am going with my Gators.
Yeah, I got to.
I think that we can still beat Utah.
Yeah.
Maybe not Tennessee this year, but we can still beat Utah.
And it is in the swamp.
It is in the swamp.
So,
and then we've got Kentucky versus Miami of Ohio.
No.
That's Kentucky.
Interesting. Kentucky, Stoops, what they've done, and a lot of the stuff that happened with Calipari and the tweeting and stuff. And Stoops is probably done more with less than any other coach in the
I would agree with that. Yeah.
He's really been there 10 years, turned that program around.
And then we've got Auburn and Mercer.
Mercer. It's so big, there's not even a line on it. So Auburn, as bad as I think Auburn is going to be, think Auburn still beats them. Okay.
The one win Auburn gets.
All right. Vandy fans, you feeling your oats right now. Vanderbilt versus Elon.
I didn't know that Vandy could count to 9 on a football field.
Count to 9.
Yeah, they got 63 points, so they had to score 9 touchdowns to get to that point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So Vanderbilt, we're going to go ahead and you'll get back-to-back wins.
Hawaii was a dumpster fire, but I stayed up and watched that game, and Vanderbilt's got a quarterback that can scoot, man. He can fly.
Play.
So,
Yes, he can.
So yeah, Vanderbilt to beat Elon. Elon, though, is in smaller colleges is a traditionally strong college, but I think Vanderbilt
gets it just by book smarts.
Oh,
all right. So
the pirate.
We got Memphis and Mississippi State. Now, last year Memphis snuck up and beat Mississippi State.
They did.
In Memphis.
And there was a controversial call.
Yeah, you know.
And Mike Leach, being the uncensored person he is, mentioned that in a press conference the other day. I don't know if you saw that. He's still a little salty about that. I picked Mississippi State.
I'm going to go with Mississippi State. I think you're right. I think he wants to hang half 100 on them if he can. And their quarterback can sling the ball around. So the last one would be, not last one, the next to last one would be Georgia and South Carolina.
Georgia State.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Georgia State? Have I heard Georgia State before somewhere? Oh, yeah, they beat Tennessee in the opener a few years ago.
Oh, that's right. Huh? That's right.
Oh, yeah. I didn't say, did I say that out loud?
No, it's okay. It's always next year for Tennessee, right?
We're a couple of carpetbaggers. Alabama, Florida, here in the state of Tennessee. Lord, y'all gonna have thick skin.
I'm gonna go with Beamer Ball in South Carolina.
South Carolina. He's interesting to see what he does in year 2. Georgia State, Bill Curry actually started that program.
He did.
After he left Alabama and was out of coaching for a while. And he started the Georgia State program from nothing. So
this is the last game.
The last one. I think this is very interesting.
This is the game that if, the earth opened up and swallowed both teams, I would be completely okay with that.
Because he's a Florida fan.
Yes, because I'm a Florida fan. If the stadium in New Orleans would just collapse in on them while they were playing, I would probably be okay with that as well. Because it's Florida State and LSU, and I don't care for either one of those. So because I can't pick the team from up north, I'm going to have to go with LSU.
You can go with LSU. I go with LSU.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I think Florida State is still
rebuilding.
And,
they beat that no-name school last week, and
I have to go with LSU too. It's Sunday. Now this is a weird game, but it is Sunday night.
Correct.
And so the Cajuns don't have to work Monday morning.
That's correct.
So they're going to be lit up. They're going to be just as drunk, even though it's Sunday night.
That's right. That's right. And it will be loud in New Orleans.
It'll be loud.
You got Bourbon Street, you got casinos, and you got college football. What more do you need?
And I think both of us picked LSU to finish kind of way down. But
yes.
But I do think it being at home, and we in a previous video picked LSU at the bottom, but
Auburn at the bottom. LSU's right there with them.
Right. But I think that number in that division, that number 3 through 5 or 6 or whatever, there's not a nickel's worth of difference.
No,
any of them could. Looking at it, everybody's an expert in the preseason, right? So I go with LSU too. I go with LSU also. Now I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench here. Non-SEC game: Notre Dame or Ohio State.
Oh, it's not even close. It's Ohio State.
It's Ohio State.
Notre Dame. Look, I like y'all.
It's Ohio State. Yeah.
Y'all have cool uniforms. You've been around forever. I think that you taught the rest of the world how to play football.
Yeah.
But your time has passed. Either join a conference or, stop throwing a hissy fit when you get left out of the BCS, right?
Yeah. And Notre Dame, my dad said this a long time ago, before I ever heard this. My dad used to say, Notre Dame could go 0-10 and the next year be ranked in the top 25.
I would agree with that.
And it's because so many of the sports writers that vote on it and stuff are Notre Dame fans, because used to back in the day.
That was all you got to see.
Well, yeah, but because Catholicism is so big in the United States.
Correct.
And back in the old days, 100 years ago, when Catholics were kind of discriminated against,
Yep.
everybody was Notre Dame fans.
That's correct.
That was their
Team.
If you were a Catholic, you were a Notre Dame fan.
That's right.
And so that has been around for a long time, and that tradition still, and that's, yeah. So Notre Dame probably, on the outside looking in,
I think
shouldn't be.
I think Ohio State runs through them like Alabama did in that national championship a few years ago with Manti Te'o. Go watch that that documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, I have had to chat with a Netflix bot because it won't pull up on my Netflix, and come to find out,
It's as real as his girlfriend was.
no. Come to find out, somehow my profile got changed where it won't let me see it, because I don't know if it's adult or whatever, but it won't let me pull up Dave Chappelle's latest.
All right, guys, if y'all can help Jason Goolesby fix his Netflix, respond down here.
I actually got to go on my profile settings. I just haven't had time to do it and change it where I can see that. So.
All right, who did you pick? Ohio State or Notre Dame?
Ohio State. Yeah.
All right.
I think the only difference that we had
Because I went with
was
Florida.
Utah, Florida.
I went with Florida over
So
Utah.
next week we won't even have to talk about all the games. We'll just
No,
talk about
that's-
Utah.
that's right.
I will say this, Keith, and I'm not saying it because you're my friend. I do hope Florida wins.
Well, it's
I do.
because you're an SEC homer just like me.
I do hope Florida wins. But I think Utah might have a little bit too much for them. But anyways.
They won the Pac-12 last year, 14 or whatever, 16, whatever y'all are at now. But that doesn't mean anything.
If you've hung on this long and you've watched this entire video and you were thinking about using me to buy or sell some property and you're a Tennessee fan, I didn't mean any of it.
Hey,
I'm sorry. I didn't.
I do mean it.
I did.
But I'll still sell you a house.